So there comes a time in a man's life when he must admit when he is wrong. And I'm going to put that time off as long as possible. So this is my Ozark Mountain, Missouri Meerschaum pipe, smoking luxury bullseye flake inside. I love this pipe. I love this tobacco. It's an awesome early morning smoke here in the Defiant Pipes Community Garden and Massage Parlor. Thank you for watching. Let's get to it. Donald Trump was right. I was wrong. Those of you who know me know how much it pains me to say that, but it's important. It's important. I need to take responsibility. I did say in a rant a while back that I did not think it very likely that the Obama administration was wiretapping our current president, and I was wrong. I was wrong. I think all evidence. I could defend myself by saying, "Oh, it was just a flippant remark," or "Oh, the letter of what I said is true," because I don't think there was a physical wiretap. That's a very specific thing. But no, the spirit of what I said was wrong. The spirit of what Donald Trump tweeted was right. And yeah, it looks like our former president. I think there's evidence to suggest that the outgoing president used his powers, his executive powers, to sabotage the incoming president. And no matter how you feel about the current president, and I do, oh man, do I feel about the current president. No matter how you feel about it, that's wrong. That's wrong. It's despicable in American politics, even though I think it might happen more than we think it does. And if laws were broken, that's the thing here is I can't really see that where laws were broken. But if laws were broken, those responsible should face justice. And so it's important to me to admit when I'm wrong, even when I'm on a political rant. And I mean, I think I said it as a joke. I think what I said was that the Obama administration spying on Donald Trump was about as likely as Emily Ratajkowski, as that hot model Emily Ratajkowski spying on me, cyber stalking me. About as likely. So Emily, look, you're a really sweet girl, right? And you're very pretty, but I'm a happily married man. The next one is even harder. It's even harder. A long time ago, more than a year ago, Derek Tant made a video called Why You Should Hoard. I think it was like top 5 reasons you should hoard pipe tobacco. And I made a VR and said, no. You don't want to do that. You want to be reasoned in your response to the FDA deeming regulations and, be very careful. We don't want to have a market, a spike in demand without a increase in supply, yada, yada, yada. I was wrong. Derek Tant was right. What's happening is that I keep getting comments on that video saying, oh, this is really great, this is well reasoned, and I can't really stand behind that reasoning anymore after the Dunhill thing. I think my views have shifted from, oh, we should all get together and have like sort of a calm approach to this situation, to every man for himself, give me my bullseye flake. That's where I've shifted. I want my luxury bullseye flake. I'm not a Dunhill fan, but when the biggest name in the industry goes down, yeah, panic buying is okay. Go for it. Everybody I shouldn't be saying this because I have meager funds with which to buy my favorite tobaccos, and yet, sorry y'all, if you're commenting on that video saying right on, I kind of no longer agree. I think it's time that, if smoking a particular tobacco is important to you, and it's on the chopping block, hook or crook, get it however you can. So, Derek, I don't know, sorry, it was a Phone glitched out there. Anyway, I have a little story to tell you about humility. I consider myself a pretty good driver, right? I think as everyone with a penis does. And this is tough. This is tough, y'all. When it happened, it wasn't that tough because I'm pretty good in a situation. When I'm in the situation, I'm good. After the situation, that's when things start to sink in. The other day, I went to go visit Shovel and Shane, and in my defense, this was all Shovel and Shane's fault. In fact, I'm pretty sure that he purposefully knocked me out, got behind the wheel of my car, and drove it into a ditch. And then like propped me back up behind the wheel and woke me up with some smelling salts or something because I was all of a sudden like, oh, why is my car in this ditch? No, in my defense, Shovel and Shane's driveway is typical of driveways in our area. It is steep and it is curved and it is very bumpy. And like I said, that's normal around here. Anyway, I went over there, and while I was there, it got unexpectedly dark when the sun went down. And normally, I when I go visit Shovel and Shane, I back in to his driveway. But he's got extra vehicles in his driveway right now, so I pulled in the regular way, and so I was backing down the driveway, and I felt the car kind of go into a dip, and I drive a Honda Civic, right? So, generally my strategy with underpowered vehicles is when they go into a dip, you hit the gas, right? You try to get them out of the dip. It wasn't a dip, it was the ditch. And so, and I was doing the thing where I'm like backing like this, and I didn't have my wits about me, which is so unlike me. What happened was so out of character. I hit the gas, I went into the ditch, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm stuck, but I'm like this, backing up, and I guess my equilibrium was off or something. It was total pitch dark. And so I'm like, I guess I'm stuck. This sucks. I'm spinning my tire a little bit. I'm like, I'll just call Shane. He'll come push me out. He's like, yeah, I'll be right down. And he comes down there and he's like, Max, you need to get out and look at this. And so I tried to open my door, but I couldn't because that was the ground. That was the ground was right here. And I was actually, instead of doing this, I was doing like this. And so I had to climb out of my passenger seat. We had to get a wrecker to come yank me out of there. And I was incredibly embarrassed. His neighbors came out on their porch to watch. And I was just like, hey, sorry about all the noise. That's not your yard, is it? Sorry about the mud. Yeah, anyway, my driver's side front wheel was more than halfway buried in mud. There was no amount of pushing that would have moved that vehicle. I haven't gotten my car stuck since 2009, and that was in a giant snowstorm when I actually drove my Subaru Forester on top of the snow. Like, there was so much snow and it was so packed that I drove it. I was like, oh, this looks like a place no one's been yet. And drove it into this place, and it raised the wheels above where they could get traction, and that sucked. But at least that was a natural disaster that caused it. This was just my own stupidity. I feel terrible. However, I did want to relate these lessons. Number one, always carry cash, because in a very, very small town, The tow truck driver, he might not take a card in the middle of the night. It was late on a Saturday night. Yeah. Number two, always keep your car at least half full of gas. I break this rule all the time, and I always regret it when I do. But I was like, why would I fill my car up when I'm going to go drive, a while to see Shane? I'll fill it up after I go to Shane's house, and then, I won't be burning the gas that I just. Yeah. So when my car was like this, apparently all the gas went to the part of the tank where the gas tank sensor is not, and showed up like I had no gas in my tank. And so everything was fine, but I realized that it could just have easily not gotten gas to the engine. And in addition to having a car in the ditch, I would have had a car that wouldn't start. Would have been a problem. So, lessons learned, I guess. I would like to say I've learned from these lessons. We'll see in the future if I actually have. Feeling humbled. Feeling humbled. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind.